Hi everybody, welcome to the SPM Intersections video blog. My name is Greg Prickrell. Today we are going to talk about the dimensions of software product management competency. It's a model that I developed to describe the competency you need to be a successful product manager. We will also talk about what I call the personality of a product management organization, and I will talk about how important it is to align leadership's view based on this model with what people are actually doing, what software product managers are doing in the organization. Here's the model. I developed it because as I look back on my career, as I worked with consulting clients, I realized that everybody had a slightly different take when it came to software product management. And I thought about it and realized that there are really three key dimensions, three key competencies that you have to develop to be effective as a software product manager. So first, you need to have business leadership. You need to know how to monitor the business performance of your product. You need to think about budgets. You need to maintain strategic relationships. And that's one important part of being a product manager. Then there's product definition. And that has to do with defining the product or designing the product from a functional perspective, describing what has to be built so engineering can go and build it. That includes things like planning releases, creating roadmaps, defining the vision or the business motivation of your product. Very important, and I think most people think about this when they think about product management. This is pretty clear to most people that product managers define the product from this functional perspective. And finally, there is what I call product promotion. And this is a tricky one because promotion is a concept that's very often linked to marketing. And here I'm not talking about marketing. I'm trying to actually make the opposite point. That as product managers, we promote our product. We talk to customers. We go to trade shows. We may talk to industry analysts. We help define the value proposition, all these things. But I don't believe that product managers are marketers. Marketing is its own science. There are people who do it. There's a certain set of skills, even kind of a personality that's required to do good marketing. So here I'm talking about promoting your product as a software product manager. I think that's a perfectly reasonable expectation, but I don't think that should expand to full marketing. And here we see how these different dimensions are given different relative priorities depending on the organization. And of course there are a million permutations of how organizations see this. But if we think of the circle as the priority given that area, I see different kinds of organizations. It's almost like they have different personalities when it comes to software product management. So first we have the mini CEO. And in that type of organization, the product manager is really expected to have a primary role in driving the business. So they're the ones that may be doing these revenue forecasts, maintaining strategic relationships with customers. In my experience, when the product manager is spending a lot of their time running the business, they have less time to define the product. And in that type of organization, I've seen that very often development picks up the slack and does a lot of the product definition work. If we look at the model in the middle, this is what I've spent most of my career doing. I've worked in really big shops like IBM, Microsoft. We were expected to define the product. There was usually somebody above us that was accountable for running the business, so we were involved, we were aware of it, but that's not what we did day to day. In my career, I've done a lot of product promotion. I've done a lot of speaking at different events. I've engaged with analysts. But in big mature shops, this is what I'm used to seeing. A lot more emphasis placed on defining the product. And then if we look at the product manager as a marketer, we can see that this promotion bubble grows, gets bigger. And we see this a lot more outside the area of high tech. And this actually goes back to the roots of product management. Procter & Gamble, they needed people to manage brands and then products. So I'm not necessarily saying that any of these models is better or any of these sets of relative priorities are better than the others. It depends on your product, where it is in its life cycle, your company. But I think it's interesting to think about our organization in these terms because it gives us a mechanism for seeing what executive leadership wants, what they expect out of product management, what product managers expect to be doing, and what they're actually doing. So I do this a lot in my consulting practice. I'll show this to executive leadership, explain the dimensions, and I'll say which one most resonates with you. What do you think your product manager should be doing? They will tell me. I'll ask the same question of product managers, then I'll do interviews and find out what they're actually spending their time doing. And if there's a discrepancy between what executive leadership expects and what product managers are doing, that's often a source of pain in the organization. So if executive leadership expects them to be driving a business and they're spending all their time defining the product or spending all their time promoting the product, there's a good chance that product management isn't meeting executive level expectations. And at least being aware of that is really important and can set the stage for improving how the organization operates, may even change the organizational structure. I've blogged about this on the SPM Intersections blog, so go there, you can read in a little bit more detail about these dimensions and what they mean. So thank you very much for your time. You can find more information about me and my services at www.prickrell.com, and of course, keep up with me here at the blog.